Okay, it's live.
Okay, we should introduce ourselves first.
That's a good idea. Go, Alina.
Okay. Currently, we have a case presented, and I am Alina Jones. I am the hearing officer of the case, and we're going to have the parent introduce themselves first.
I'm Cheryl, the parent of
And then the superintendent.
I am Diana Withers, the superintendent of the school district.
And
Cedar.
I'm going to introduce the case. Currently, Garrett attends regular classes in a typical school program in the Cedar Rapids Community School District. Thus far, he has progressed academically with success. Due to the accident, Garrett is ventilator dependent and requires assistance with other physical needs such as suctioning his tracheotomy tube and catheterization. To start, I'm going to question the school district. I'm going to have the school district attorney present their side.
So, we're here today because we believe that in the past 4 years, as we have been helping Garrett with the school district and meeting his needs for his individualized education plan, that he has been able to receive help in having his breathing tubes and catheter cleaned by a licensed practicing nurse. But now we have been asked to provide the financial resources so that a nurse can continue to do so. The Cedar Rapids School District at this time does not have any nurses that are hired by the school district that can fulfill these needs that are very specific to Garrett, but we are fully capable in accommodating to those needs, and that if there were to be a nurse that was provided through insurance or through the grant that the family were to receive, we would be able to have them use our facilities, and we can still accommodate Garrett's needs through using specialized chairs in the classroom and having the technology such as smart boards and other writing utensils that he'll be able to use considering his condition.
Okay, and then family attorney, introduce yourself and present your case.
I am Mitzi Gregory. Well, under the idea, every child with a disability is entitled to a free, appropriate public education. The idea emphasizes special education and related services, which should be designed to meet a child's unique needs and prepare them for further education. Furthermore, courts have held that the idea requires schools to prepare individualized education plans which confer meaningful educational benefit to children with disabilities. The meaningful educational benefit requirement includes a focus on raised student expectations and appropriate progress. The idea also places a strong emphasis on placement in general education setting. Under the idea, a student is guaranteed placement in the least restrictive environment possible. Therefore, an IEP team must explore a number of alternatives for enabling a student to participate in the general education classroom. These may include classroom modifications, supplemental aids and services, alternative instructional methods, and related services. This being said, IDEA requires a district to bear financial responsibility for all of the disputed services, finding that most of them are already provided for some other students. That the district did not contend that only a licensed physician could provide the services, and that applicable federal regulations require the district to furnish school health services which are provided by a qualified nurse or other qualified person, but not medical services, which are limited to services provided by a physician. The requested services that we are asking for are supportive services because Garrett cannot attend school unless they are provided. Like I have mentioned before, services provided by a physician, other than for diagnostic and evaluation purposes, are subject to the medical services exclusion, but services that can be provided by a nurse or qualified layperson are not. All he needs is nursing services during school hours and not the 24 hours. Denying Garrett these services is also going against IDEA because they also have design instruction of zero reject, which is designed to meet the unique needs of a disabled child, including classroom instruction and instruction in hospitals and institutions, as well as related services which can include transportation and such developmental, corrective, and other supportive services as may be required to assist a disabled child to benefit from special education.
I have a few questions for the school district attorney. Why should or shouldn't Garrett be in a normal school environment? And why doesn't the school district get a grant for his needs?
We are fully supportive of Garrett being in our school district and receiving the help that he needs, but due to the fact that he needed a specific cleaning done 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, that would require that a new staff member were to come in. And since there were special specifications that they need to be able to meet in their job, it would make more sense that the family were to find that through their insurance, since they would most likely be the ones that need to choose who is going to labor and work in aiding their son. In regards to your other question about one second, what's your second question? Restate that one.
Why shouldn't the school get a grant, or why doesn't the school just get a grant for his needs?
For grants for individualized medical needs of a student, since he is the only student that we have currently that would be needing those services within the Cedar Rapids School District, we think it would be best that his family were to apply for a grant in which they would be able to receive funding for not only his current schooling, but his schooling in the future as well when he is no longer with our school district, such as like his higher education and such.
And why shouldn't the school district have to presume financial responsibility?
For the school district to have all financial responsibility in providing for this nurse, we would need to team up with the family in deciding who would be the licensed nurse or person that would be providing services throughout the day. And we would need to arrange our budget differently so that we were able to accommodate for this need, since it is the need of one child it's medically for him, and there are not other children in our school district that are in need of this. We want him to go to this school, but since it is an individualized need, we believe that it would be best for a grant to be done for the family, or for it to be done through his medical insurance, so that it can be done perfectly well in the way that it is needed.
And questions for the family attorney. Why should Garrett be in a normal school district?
So the school attorney mentioned that Garrett's services would be continuous, but they're not. They're actually intermittent, which means that they wouldn't need to be aiding him every second of the school day. He would need some form of intervention by either suctioning the tracheostomy once a day, catheterizing once a day, or positioning him for 5 minutes every hour, but that's doable. He does not have to be aided every second, which doesn't mean that it'll be disrupting the classroom. And also, like I mentioned earlier, IDEA requires that children are entitled to a free, appropriate public education. And through that free, appropriate public education, they are granted services that benefit them to help them in a general setting.
And why shouldn't the family have to presume financial responsibility for the services provided, such as insurance and providing a nurse in the school?
Well, once again, it's not a medical service, it's a school health service. And so the district could find qualified nurses to come. And they also have a qualified school nurse that they have. So, and I'm sure she's not busy every hour, every second of the school day. And because they don't need a physician. Usually physicians are covered under the insurance, and if there's nursing services in the school, they should take advantage of them.
To close, after hearing the argument, under the statute, our precedent, and the purposes of the idea, the district must fund such related services to help guarantee the students like Garrett are integrated into the public schools. Court adjourned.
So